Hello everyone, I wanted to review this COOSPO computer GPS unit that I bought a couple weeks ago. I've had several rides with it now. I'm really quite impressed. It's a nice little GPS computer. So I wanted to go through the main display here. On the top we've got the time, the temperature, and battery strength and signal strength. So I want to talk about the time. There's a setting that you go in to program the time, and it's actually, you don't put in the time of day, you put in your variation from Greenwich Mean Time. So for me in the eastern United States, that's -4 hours. So that kind of snagged me when I first got this computer, because I was trying to put in the time of day and it just was wonky. If you put in Greenwich Mean Time, the variation from Greenwich Mean Time, this computer will use the GPS and it'll always have the correct time. So -4 hours for me in the Eastern Time Zone. Temperature, which always displays very hot. So there's the battery, and it has 3 bars. I think the description claims there's 20 plus hours of battery life. I haven't gotten that much. I usually, if it's on 1 bar, I throw it on the charger at the end of my ride, and I maybe get 10 or 12 hours from 3 bars down to 1 bar. So in the main display, this is your current speed, which is obviously 0 for me. Ride time, so my last ride, this is 1 hour and 9 minutes. It doesn't display seconds ever, which kind of snagged me at first because I didn't think it was working until it got to 1 minute. Total distance, and then this is your current gradient. So right now it's 0%, but that's kind of cool. If you're going up a hill, it'll tell you what the grade is. Over the last, I'm going to say 50 to 100 meters or so, it's not quite instant, which really isn't possible to get an accurate grade instantaneously with, GPS technology for a couple of reasons. Over here, you can connect devices such as, I have a cadence sensor, which, since I'm not pedaling right now, it's not showing up, but you can also connect a heart rate monitor, I think a power meter, and maybe some other things. Now, so this is the first screen. You can toggle through. There's several different screens here. This is the second screen. This is your averages. So average speed for that ride was 15.6. I was on my gravel bike riding gravel. So this is my current altitude, 754 feet above sea level, and total ascent for that ride was 490 feet with an average gradient of 0.1%. My average cadence was 81. And then on the last screen, you get max speed for the ride, 26.3, calories burned, 771, which I'm sure isn't super accurate for a number of reasons, depending, a 20-mile ride on a fat bike versus a 20-mile ride on a road bike is just going to display the same amount of calories, but in reality, the fat bike is way more work. So there's the odometer, 361.0 miles ridden since I got this about 2 weeks ago. This is my max gradient on that last ride, 5.7% max, and maximum cadence of 93. See if there's anything else. And then there's the app. So you can go on Play Store, or I'm a Android user, and here's the app. Now you can sync this. So what we're going to do when you finish the ride, what you do is you long press on the power button, and that's what resets the ride. That's going to save the data, and then if you turn it back on, you'll be ready to go again. and now I've got the app open and I've got the computer on, so you can see it's connected here. So if I hit that, this is how you would sync your rides. These are the ones that have not yet been synced, and they're uploading. So it doesn't sync nearly as fast as my Garmin, but that's not a big deal. And one thing I wanted to say is the accuracy on this thing is fabulous. I have a Garmin 935 here, you know, like a $400 Garmin, and it's always, when I use both devices, it's within, the COOSPO is within plus or minus a couple hundredths of a mile. I mean, it's incredibly accurate for such an inexpensive computer. About the app again, I'll say it does sync to Strava. It's two-way syncing, or Strava is two-way syncing. So I've heard some people ask if it syncs with other apps. The answer is no, but if you most of the apps people use, like Garmin Connect, I use, and it does two-way syncing with Strava. So it's going to push your data from Strava to Garmin and from Garmin to Strava. So all my workouts always show up in both apps. So if you wanted to push it, if you wanted it to push that data to a different app, the way to do that would just be set up Strava. Get a free account. When you install Strava, they try to trick you into buying the paid version. Just skip that screen. So excellent little computer. I bought one for my wife's bikes. Between the two of us, we have about 9 bikes or so that we ride. The beauty of the GPS versus the traditional wheel mount magnet computers is you can switch this between bikes, no problem. You don't have to worry about the wheel diameter. There is a setting on the COOSPO for wheel diameter. The only reason I think you would even need to enter that, I haven't even put it in, but you would need to enter that is if you were going to use a wheel-mounted speed sensor, which if you're buying a GPS computer, I don't know why you would want to do that. The exception being maybe if you ride very meandering mountain bike trails and you have a tree canopy, maybe the wheel-mounted sensor would be more accurate. But we just switched this between all of our bikes. It comes with 2 mounts, and I've purchased a couple more to put on all the bikes. So you just move it around. Really super nice. The mounts are fabulous. They're exactly the same as Wahoo and Garmin use. So yeah, that's my review of this COOSPO GPS bike computer. I hope it was helpful. Thanks.
Le gadget indispensable pour tous ceux qui font du vélo, c'est l'ordinateur de vélo. Alors voilà la boîte qui contient notre ordinateur. Le voilà, ainsi qu'un mode d'emploi en français et un ensemble de supports et d'élastiques pour le connecter soit directement soit indirectement au guidon du vélo. Donc on peut le connecter, l'attacher où on veut grâce à ces systèmes d'élastique, mais personnellement je préfère ce système qui permet de le fixer très solidement au guidon du vélo de façon à pouvoir le placer et le déplacer très facilement. Il suffit, voilà, de clipser ça sur la baïonnette et on a un ordinateur bien sûr très facile à retirer quand on part au travail ou quand on fait des courses pour ne pas se le faire dérober. Alors on commence toujours par une charge complète avant de démarrer et on va voir un peu à quoi ça sert. Donc il y a 3 boutons d'action. Ici on va brancher, ça s'initialise, ça s'affiche. Alors qu'est-ce qu'on va voir comme réglage? Alors on a ici la vitesse en km/h, on a ici le temps passé, le temps écoulé pendant la course, on a la distance parcouru pendant la course en mètres et en kilomètres, et quelque chose de très intéressant en plus, le gradient, ce qui correspond en français à l'inclinaison du terrain, la pente. 1%, 2%, 8%, 15%, 20% de pente. C'est très utile pour savoir si on doit changer de vitesse et pourquoi pédaler est aussi dur à certains endroits. Alors on va passer d'une page à l'autre par ce bouton-là. Là c'est la deuxième page. Au lieu de nous donner la vitesse courante, il va nous donner AVG, Average, la vitesse moyenne. Et en plus, ici, on va avoir l'altitude. On voit qu'ici, on est au bord de la mer, on a 21 mètres, puisque c'est un système qui fonctionne par satellite et par GPS. On va passer à la troisième page. On a ici la vitesse maximum qui est enregistrée pendant le trajet. On a un calcul approximatif des calories dépensées. L'odomètre va donner la totalité des kilomètres parcourus depuis la toute première utilisation de l'ordinateur. Donc c'est vraiment quelque chose de très pratique qui va donner des renseignements utiles, comme la vitesse moyenne, ça c'est très utile, et en cours de parcours, la pente, en plus de la vitesse, qui est quelque chose à l'usage extrêmement utile également. Alors, pour démarrer la course, on appuie sur le deuxième bouton, qui va nous faire un compte à rebours, 3, 2, 1, 0, et ça part tout seul. Alors, il y a deux modes de fonctionnement. Un mode tout seul qui se fait par satellite avec un petit décalage puisqu'il faut que l'ordinateur communique avec le satellite pour trouver également la position. Voilà, on voit qu'il recherche le satellite et il y a un mode beaucoup plus pratique et sans aucune inertie avec une réaction instantanée qui est l'utilisation d'un capteur de vitesse du type ANT+, qu'on trouve partout, notamment dans cette marque COOSPO. Alors, ce qu'on conseille, c'est, pour ceux qui n'en ont pas encore, c'est d'acheter les deux ensemble, puisque le capteur acheté séparément vaut 2 fois plus cher que si on achète avec l'ordinateur. 10 € avec l'ordinateur, un peu plus de 20 € si on l'achète séparément. Alors, pour le paramétrage, on va utiliser le bouton de gauche, ici la flèche, par un appui long. Alors, on a 5 programmes de 1 à 5 qui correspondent à 5 paramétrages différents. Alors, comme P1, P2, P3, ça ne veut rien dire, on est obligé de se référer au manuel d'utilisation qui est en français et qui va expliquer clairement à quoi correspondent tous ces différents programmes. Alors, P1, appui long. P1, je valide sur la touche du milieu et il va se mettre en mode recherche d'un capteur ANT, si j'en ai un. C'est un peu comme une recherche Wi-Fi ou une recherche Bluetooth, c'est le même genre. Si j'ai un capteur, il va le reconnaître. On valide ici. P1, c'est réglé. On passe en P2. Alors pour voir à quoi correspond P2, j'appuie sur le bouton numéro 2 ici. Je vois que c'est le diamètre de ma roue. Parce qu'effectivement, il va compter avec le capteur les tours de roue et suivant le diamètre, je ne fais pas les mêmes distances. Alors, je reprends P3. Je vois qu'ici, j'ai UTC, le fuseau horaire moyen, qui est un décalage de 8 heures. Donc, je vais ajouter ou enlever une heure pour trouver également exactement le fuseau horaire qui correspond à ma localisation. Sachant que l'heure elle-même ne se règle pas avec la machine, elle se met à l'heure automatiquement avec le satellite. Le programme numéro 4, je vois si j'enregistre mes distances en kilomètres ou ici je change en miles. Donc je reste en kilomètres, je valide et P5 correspond simplement à une recalibration de l'ordinateur. Alors en pratique, si je m'en sers tout seul, je me servirai de ce bouton-là qui va servir à l'allumer, à l'éteindre. Appui long, j'éteins. Voilà, ça s'éteint. Ça s'éteint automatiquement si ça n'a pas servi, si on ne roule pas depuis un certain temps. Voilà, j'allume. Et pour démarrer ma course, j'appuie ici, 3, 2, 1, 0. C'est parti. Je regarde ma vitesse moyenne, ma vitesse maximum, le nombre de calories, etc. Et tous les renseignements qu'on a détaillés tout à l'heure. Alors il y a, si j'appuie ici, ça se met en stand-by. Si par exemple je m'arrête, je vais faire des courses, je vais travailler, je vais fumer mon clope, je ne veux pas que l'ordinateur enregistre pendant ce temps-là, je mets en stand-by, ici ça clignote, et quand je rentre, je repars sur mon vélo, je redémarre l'enregistrement. Ici, je peux noter des courses différentes qui vont être surtout utiles si j'associe l'ordinateur à l'application COOSPO Ride qui lui correspond. Donc il faut installer sur son smartphone. Donc voilà, un petit ordinateur qui normalement fonctionne tout seul grâce au satellite, mais avec une certaine inertie. On conseille quand même, si on veut une mesure instantanée et ultra précise, de rajouter le capteur ANT de vitesse de la même marque ou d'une autre marque, puisque la norme ANT est universelle et doit normalement fonctionner avec tous les ordinateurs.
I'm going to be reviewing the COOSPO computer bike as well as the cadence and speed sensors. So here's the box. It's the BC 107. There's the packaging on the back. Let's open it up. All right, so first off the bat, at first glance, this computer is very sleek, nice, smooth. Comes with a nice protective cover on it. And on the back, it shows the port that goes into the computer as well as the micro USB port to charge it. The box also contains the instruction manual as well as an attachment that you could screw in directly into the handlebars and the fork, and also comes with a charger. So always look at the manual. It explains everything. It shows what compatible devices, Bluetooth devices are used. Now let's install the speed sensor. Easiest way for me to do it is to put the bike upside down and stick your fingers in the spokes and just clip it in. It's like a rubber band around two little prongs, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Only thing is I have fat fingers, so, took me a couple tries. But there you go. Spin it to make sure it works. And that's it. There's going to be a blue sensor that shows that it's connecting, and then you can go directly into the app and you can pair it with the computer itself, and it'll read it. Now we're going to go onto the cadence sensor. This one goes directly onto the left pedal, and it's also held onto by a rubber band with two prongs, and that goes directly around it. Easy snap-on, as you can see. And then you just want to make sure that it's not going to hit the actual frame of the bike or anyone's leg or foot. That's why it's on the left side. These are the screenshots that come directly from the app. The first one shows a breakdown of your rides. The second one shows the GPS location, which is pretty spot on and accurate, which is great in case you want to try to make a new route and you like that route. You could save that route indirectly to the app. And it also shows the speed, any elevation you have. And this overall product is just a great purchase. I highly recommend it. This is a great company, COOSPO. And their products are really great for anyone trying to track their bike rides and trying to track how fast they're going and any improvements that they're trying to make. This is a great product to do that with. I also monitored my Apple Watch alongside with this, and it was directly spot on. So you don't even need to bring your Apple Watch, or if you forget it, this is a great another tool to kind of help gauge where you are in terms of your
In questo video voglio mostrarvi il funzionamento di questo computer digitale da bicicletta con sensore GPS. Nella scatola non troverete il sensore di velocità, al che la domanda è: se questo non ha nessun sensore, come calcola la velocità? Mediante la connessione al satellite. Vedete l'icona? Adesso c'è un segnale di divieto perché siamo all'interno di un'area coperta e quindi non prende il segnale. Bisogna uscire, aspettare solitamente non più di 60 secondi fino a che non prende il collegamento con il satellite. Ecco, vabbè, ho già fatto il pairing qualche minuto fa e infatti diciamo riesce subito ad agganciarsi. La prima volta ci mette dai 60 ai 90 secondi. Da questo momento, vedete, c'è l'icona delle onde del satellite, basterà camminare anche a piedi e in base al calcolo fatto con lo spostamento via satellite il computer calcola la velocità, che risulta anche abbastanza precisa. Infatti adesso mi fermo e si azzera anche lui nel giro di pochissimi secondi.